Aquarius, welcome to your Career Tarot bonus reading. I hope you're well. I hope you are fabulous. If Career Tarot is not of use to you, your Intimate Tarot will be out today as well. All right. What's going on? It's time to shake up those energies, honey. Time to get out of the love reads and into something else. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name's Christina. I occasionally provide Career Tarot and Intimate Tarot. If you'd like to catch up on some old messages, everything's in a nice and neat playlist, okay? All right, what's going on for Aquarius, please? Show me that Aquarian career energy, please. Show me that Aquarian career energy, please. What's currently going on? Show me Aquarius and career. Oh. Well, no. 9 of coins. Good. Good job. I like it. You're comfortable. You're earning coin. You're padding your garden. Okay, this could be, I'm looking at possibly a single Aquarius. That's not the point. The 9 of Pentacles speaks to the individuation of one's energy and what it is that we are capable of, more so in career. So this is my experience. This is what I can do. Look at me go. I can build my own garden. Thank you very much. And I know how to pad it too. I know how to save for rainy days, and I also know how to enjoy the fruits of my own labor, right? I like it. You're earning that coin. You're doing you. You're doing well. You have a lot of experience behind you. Love it. Goals. Advice. Goals and advice, please, for Aquarius. What's going on? Or perhaps that's where you want to be. But that's your current energy. So right now I'm defaulting to that's where you are. Show me the goals and advice, please. Goals and advice, please, for Aquarius in their career. Oh, Ace of Swords. Know your truth. Oh, yeah, baby. Know your truth. Know your worth. Yes. Ace of Swords. Sharp mind, of course. You're contemplating something. I want to know what it is you're contemplating. The Ace of Swords can mean a lot to you since you are the sword wielder. The sword wielder. So, of course, that Ace of Swords can mean a lot to you. What are you thinking about? Slow growth? Could we be getting more out of our experience, out of our career? Okay. What's going on? Something has occurred to you, no doubt. Some of those strengths, please. Some of those strengths, please. Okay. Okay. Queen of Cups. These are the burdens you choose to carry with that 10 of Wands, and that's fine. So 10 of Wands in career, I prefer to see 10 of Wands in career rather than not. Does it mean you're overworked? Could be. Sure. Do you have a lot of burdens going on? Yeah, sure. But it also means we're working. So 10 of Wands often is that kind of thinking that, well, these are the labors of my particular love. Okay? The sticks he's carrying that bundle are not an incident. Or not incidental, excuse me. He knows what he got himself into. This is his job of choice. And so these are the fruits of his particular labor, his harvest. So he's been working hard. And the good thing is that I don't know how overburdened you are so much as that you are happy to do what it is that you do. Okay? In other words, a labor of love or labor of love. And if that's true, good. That's very good. These are your strengths. You want to do what you love. And so if you're going to be worked hard or overworked, you want to do what you love, right? And I agree with you. I completely agree with you. No matter how happy we are with the job or our career, we might very well do what we love. That doesn't mean there's not going to be some cons attached to it. Okay, but that's fine. That's just the way it is, you know? So, the strengths are you're willing to carry a great deal of responsibilities. You're willing to carry, a great deal of burdens, just as long as you feel good about it. So long as they are indeed burdens of your choice. All right? Any obstacles that Aquarius should be made aware of at this time? Obstacles, please, in their career. Obstacles, please. Page of Wands, Inquiry, 5 of Swords, 4 of Cups. What's going on? Sometimes you spend a little too much time thinking about if this is correct for you or if that you're really happy with it. I don't know how much I would give that thought credence, Aquarius, because it's under your obstacles and the 5 of Swords is attached to it. So some of you might have a tendency, okay, to talk yourself out of something that might be good for you because sometimes you wonder if maybe there's something better or it could be better. In other words, you might have a labor of love here. And that is a strength for you. But there are times when you are unhappy. And you wonder maybe, is this correct for me? Is this right for me? Okay. And for some of you, yeah, it's a 5 of Swords thing. Sometimes you set yourself up for failure if you entertain that thought too long or for too much. Okay. Well, there are some days that I'm unhappy. You know, and maybe I can talk myself out of that real quick. Now, it doesn't seem to be fairly huge because it is resting on a page, but some of you might have a tendency or repeating pattern that once something starts to feel uncomfortable to you, you might start talking yourself out of it, despite the fact there are more benefits than there are cons. Okay, so that's under your obstacles. So that tells me, the Aquarius I'm looking at today, you have an awareness of this tendency. All right. Just because something is sometimes hard or difficult doesn't mean it's not right for you. It just means those are the burdens you've chosen to carry, you know? Not all jobs are going to be 100% easy or perfect, or we're going to feel good about them all the time. That doesn't mean they're not right for us, okay? They can't make us 100% happy. So if you are thinking about transitioning, make sure it's not coming from this space. That if you are transitioning into another role or another job or another career, make sure it's coming from a good and healthy space, not from this, well, I'm not always happy with my job, so let me talk myself out of it real quick. Because we've set ourselves up for failure in the past by doing that. That's for some of you. Okay, outcome please. Outcome please. Oh, Page of Swords. Okay, you don't seem to be engaging with new opportunities yet. You're keeping an eye on things, okay? So you seem to be blocking that so far. Okay. Page of Swords is in the outcome. I don't think you're trying to switch anything up right now. I think something might have started to creep into your mind about the difficulty, and sometimes you're unhappy. That doesn't necessarily mean you're ready to quit yet. Some of you had that tendency in the past, and that might be some self-awareness knowledge you already have on your part, and you're not letting that get the better of your mind. You're going to have not so good days, and sometimes those turn into not so good weeks. And if it keeps going on in that way, then maybe it's time to look more outward. Okay, because maybe that's not self-sabotage at that point. Maybe you generally are unhappy. But the thing is that I don't think you're ready to transition. Right now you seem to be content in your role. You do seem to be comfortable in terms of your experience as well as your monetary output. You do seem to have an existing labor of love attached to this current role. So this idea of, Aquarius, let's have a talk real quick. We don't always have good days, but that doesn't mean we're going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? We want to stay in what's good for us and not try to talk ourselves out of it just because sometimes we don't always feel so good about it, okay? Now, I know that you can have a very restless mind, and sometimes you get yourself in that situation of choosing other things when really you should have stayed put because you have that just phenomenal Ace of Swords ability, and your mind can perceive several different directions at one time, and you get caught up in that thinking, Aquarius, maybe that might be better for me. Let's go entertain that real quick. I'm going to leave this over here. I'm going to go check that out real quick. And then, without really having committed to the idea of where you are is actually kind of good for you, you've already kind of started putting your energy elsewhere when where you were was just fine. So that's kind of the Aquarius I'm looking at today. I do believe that you experience in your current role a sense of labor and love and responsibility. And I actually think you thrive very well in it. And I also think sometimes you have a tendency or temptation to look outward from this current role because, sometimes the days aren't always so good. But you also seem to know that you have that tendency, maybe I shouldn't talk myself into anything right now. Okay? Because Page of Swords, that's very mild. That's super mild. That's like keeping an eye on potential opportunities. That's having mild conversations. It's not full-on investment. So, your kind of wandering eye is doing exactly that. It's wandering eye. It doesn't seem to be engaging into too much activity outside your current role at this time. So I say keep on keeping on. You seem to be doing quite well. Let's go ahead and start breaking it down. I can tell whatever this role is, it's serving you. Under that Nine of Pentacles energy, that's beautiful. Nine of Pentacles, show me. Show me that Nine of Pentacles, please, for Aquarius. Show me. Show me that Nine of Pentacles, please. Show me that Nine of Pentacles, please. Show me that Nine of Pentacles, please. Oh, for Aquarius, the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, you're doing quite well. Aren't you doing quite well? Three Cups, bringing it together. You are bringing together a goal. You seem to be doing very well. That's wonderful. You're making a legacy, honey. You're working on your legacy. You're knee-deep in it. You're in a career. You're making a name for yourself. You kind of have a brand, as it were. You have a brand for yourself in your current role. Some of you are boss. I got Emperor underlining. But you are making it. Dude, seriously. This is legacy energy here. You're working on your legacy. Honestly. coin, foundation, the name for yourself. For some of you, this is a new role and you found your place in it very quickly, very easily. Congratulations to you if that is the case. Well done. But for the most part, you, Ten of Cups, you're very content with this opportunity. You're doing so well. Look at you. You're doing so well. Oh, honey, don't fix what ain't broke. You know, this is great. You have so much experience, you're earning that coin, you're making a name for yourself, and this is the long-lasting legacy. So again, some of you entered into new jobs, into careers, in which case you are thriving, and again, congratulations to you. And for others of you, you're already in that process of making the long-term pathway goal for you with that Ace of Pentacles, like your namesake, your legacy. With that Ten of Cups here, it's looking like you've been satisfied in this role, and it has been serving you well for some time. It's looking like your coiffers are stocked up, the family's happy. You know, if you have a family involved, those are wonderful aspects. Show me that Ace of Swords, please, the advice or goals. The advice or goals, please, for Aquarius. Show me that Ace of Swords, please, advice or goals for Aquarius in their career. Oh. Nine of Pentacles again for you, and Six of Cups. Honey, don't fix what ain't broke. That's my only advice for you today. Don't say Ace of Swords, this is your undisputed truth. That Nine of Pentacles is reflection here for you twice, and then your emotional attachment is showing up to it as well. That tells me you are phenomenally good at what you do. You're competent. You might even be wealthy, or at least bare minimum comfortable. And you have an emotional harmony within the workplace. Your mind and your skills, Ace of Swords, that's you, that's your master symbol is the sword. Your skills, your mind, they're appreciated. People think well of you. They talk well of you. You've got really strong bonds at work. You're just thriving, honey. That's beautiful. Nine of Pentacles twice, straight out the gate. You're working on your legacy here. You made a name for yourself. You've got excellent connections at work. You have very rich relationships at work. Keep it going. Just keep it going. I'm not saying that your job doesn't have difficulty. Of course it fucking does. We got a labor of love here. That's literally the translation. The Ten of Wands over that Queen of Cups. You have a labor of love. I'm not saying you don't. But it's also under your strength, so I know you bear it well. Okay? Show me that Queen of Cups to the Ten of Wands, please. Show me that Queen of Cups to the Ten of Wands, please, for Aquarius' strengths. Ace of Swords. Oh, you're just all over this, ain't you? You know this. It's a knowledge you recognize within yourself without any issue. It's beautiful. It's great. You know, yeah, it's a labor of love, but it's mine. Ace of Swords. Thank you. I know this. Christina, you're not telling me anything I don't already know. Okay, why are you here? Bye. Keep on keeping on, man. Just keep going. Bro, sis, you're good. You look good because you are good. You feel good because you do feel good. You have excellent connections at work, connectivity, surrounded by people who literally appreciate your mind, your skills, your decision making. Sometimes it feels laborious, yeah, but it also still feels good. The Queen of Cups is still here. Okay, so while you might be the main honcho or the decision maker or somebody who settles disputes, because that sword can be like decision. I settled the disputes around here, right? You know, but you still wouldn't have it any other way. It's a lot of your opinion matters, your mind matters. Everything that you do and experience seems to be taken in very high regard. This is great. This is wonderful. I'm not going to be so fortunate as to see something like this for the other folks. This is wonderful. So again, these obstacles, you know, sometimes it gets bad. Sometimes the energy's uneasy. Sometimes I'm looking at Aquarius who has a tendency to talk themselves out of things. Okay, that was not in your best interest, but it's resting on pages. Okay, so that tells me you try not to give that too much credence. All right, which is a good thing. That Five of Swords, man, that Five of Swords can sneak up on us and cause all sorts of havoc, you know? The obstacles, the moon. Some of you aren't aware you have that tendency. What else? Three of Cups. Okay. Some of you are not aware that you have that tendency to make that happen or bring it together. Just be aware of that. Just be aware of that. I know sometimes your mind, perhaps you talk to folks or you're networking and you wonder if things couldn't be better on the other side. Try not to let that seep into you too much. You seem to be doing very well. Okay, so I want you to continue to do very well. I know that there's times where it seems like you receive a certain level of social influence that makes you think, well, maybe this job or this career or this company or whatever that is might be better. Let's pull that back a little bit because you're already thriving. Okay, so the grass isn't necessarily greener. And sometimes you do have a strong tendency to want to take off towards the new and the exciting. And there's some stuff in there that whispers in your mind. Hey, Aquarius, go check that direction out. It might be good for you. Maybe you're not so happy where you are. Think about it. I would think about thinking about it. Because you're doing very well. Okay? Don't leave an opportunity behind unless you know it's correct for you. Here's the general rule about doing what's right for you and leaving things behind. If it feels correct, then it is correct. If you have to talk yourself into it, take another look at it. Because typically when we talk ourselves into things, or we have to talk ourselves out of things, there's some Five of Swords hanging around on that. So if you feel like you're in this position where you think you have to talk yourself out of your current role, or you're trying to talk yourself into another one, pull it back. Okay, make sure that's coming from a good space. I know you hear talk and you receive influence from other people. It makes you think, well, maybe over there, maybe I could have an easier time over there. And then you get over there and you find out, oh, it's not so great. What I had was already awesome, So let's just keep that in mind. I'm not saying you're doing it. I'm saying it's kind of back there in the stew of your brain. Okay? You got a stew cooking on the back of your stove. Some of this is in there. All right? So again, when you know it's time to move on, it's an unequivocal feeling. I know it's right for me. That doesn't mean it's not a struggle. That doesn't make it easy. But at least you have that knowledge as absolutely 100% correct. If you have to talk yourself into or out of something, then that is not 100% correct. We want to examine that. We want to look at that, right? Okay. And that includes any social influences around us that might, hey, Aquarius, you're a rock star over here. Maybe you should go over there. Okay, so that includes outside influence. All right? Show me that Page of Swords, please. Show me that Page of Swords, please, for the outcome. So you don't seem to be engaging too far outwards. Perhaps casually keeping your eye on stuff. So, see, look at that. That's literally the translation. Page of Swords and Seven of Cups. You were casually keeping an eye on options. You're entertaining options. So, yeah, that tells me perhaps your energy had a recent influx of influence. Kind of looking at other options, but it's an eye. It's an eye. It's a super casual eye, Christina. It was brought up in conversation last week with some friends. And I was thinking maybe that could be interesting. Maybe that could be a little, maybe that could be a little more advantageous for me. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I want you to think about thinking about it. Because right now, I'm looking at Aquarius, who's an absolute rock star at what they do. Your mind and your skills are appreciated. You have strong bonds at work. You're developing a legacy here. If you haven't already, you have labors of love attached to your energy. You're quite good at what you do. So you're literally keeping an eye on opportunities. So I don't see you fully engaging elsewhere. I don't want you to put yourself in a position where you set yourself up for failure because you are entertaining an idea that may not be a very good fit for you. Okay? So there is some social influence here. I can't quite capture it, but I do feel like somebody might have recently been like, hey, Aquarius, let me tell you about this opportunity. And like Aquarius is like, I'd like to learn more. Something like that. And that's very you. You're very inquisitive. You do like to learn, and by all means, do learn. Always. Never stop learning. Look at what's out there. But make sure that before you step foot outside that particular door, okay, that you're not having to talk yourself into or out of something. All right? Because you have an excellent platform here, and I want you to keep on keeping on. Okay? All right. There you go. Good job, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. Bro, sis. 7 of Wands. We're going to block that. Good. Good. So yeah, you might have had some recent social influence, family, friends, possibly networking. Or like, hey, look over here. And you're kind of like, I think if I engage with that, I'm going to set myself up for failure. It's interesting. It's interesting. But I don't think that's where I want to be. Good job. So you're blocking that. You're just not interested, and I don't blame you. Look at where you are. Look at where you're coming from. Look at the legacy you built. So I just don't see you engaging in other opportunities. You're actively blocking it. I think you're going to have little inquiries. I think you're open to learning, but not open to engaging. No, not at this time. Okay, that's what I'm seeing for you today. This has to be my shortest reading on record. All right, any significant time frames, please? Any significant time frames, please? We're working on that legacy. Any significant time frames, please? Some of you might really come into your own by September, or perhaps you did for a year ago. That Ace of Pentacles on the opening can be very strong information. Okay. 2, the 28th might be important to some of you, but we're walking away from the confusion here. It just doesn't seem productive. I agree. It doesn't seem like a productive idea. We're walking away from the confusion. We're just, you don't want to be confused right now. I think you're keeping an eye on opportunities, but you're not engaging with them. Okay, and then for some of you, the 2nd might be important, the 8th, the 28th, as I said. This upcoming August, okay, prior to Libra season, so that is late September. Okay, so in August, it's looking like, or prior to, excuse me, my head's killing me today. Prior to Libra season, I just don't see you engaging. I think something caught your attention, and I believe it was under the form of influence. But I don't see you engaging in it. It doesn't seem correct to you. It doesn't seem correct to you. I don't know what else to tell you, Aquarius. The 11th might be important. But you're like, nah, that's not me. That's not me. So whatever this is that's coming up, it's looking like many of you are rejecting it, walking away from it, or calling it confusing or imbalanced before Libra season. So August, September. Okay? I hope that helps you. There's really no point in doing a time check. You're going to give it a think. You're going to give it a thought. The 4 of Swords, so in about a month. You're going to give it a thought. You'll give it a think. You'll rest on it. You'll think on it. You'll contemplate on it. But you're like, you know, within a month. So yeah, August is lining up. No later than October. Okay? No later than October. But for most of you, August, September, you're going to be like, I don't know if this helped you. So if there's a takeaway from this, honey, Aquarius, good job. You look like you're founded and grounded and sensible, and it's looking like many people rely on your decision-making, your skills, your determination, and then also you have really excellent bonds at work. So that's excellent. I love that. That's congratulations. Yes, sometimes what you do can get labor-intensive, but it's also kind of like love for the game. You know that this is where your skill set is best matched with the Ace of Swords, not once but twice. I see you currently working on your legacy. And all the constituents that immediately surround you seem to be satisfied with what you do. So, again, congratulations to you. This gotta be my shortest reading ever. Wow, that's gotta be a record for me. Okay, Aquarius, we're gonna call it quits here, and then we're gonna jump on over to your intimate tarot. Put in the comments. I don't know why you're here today. So if you wanted to know more about this, and if it was a good fit for you, you're kind of like, no. So, there you go. All right, hopefully I'll see you at your intimate. Take care. Be well.